The other evening, I spoke to a group of inmates at a prison here in Michigan. I'm generally there a couple of times a year to help kick off the next 6-month series of classes on the subject of anger. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to say to them that evening, but as I thought about it just before I went in, a memory came to me of some years ago, an experience that had occurred with a young boy. And I decided to relate that to them. We were speaking about how anger gets started in lives. And it occurred to me that this was maybe a good example of that, as painful as it was. So after I came back, I thought about it some more and decided to write up the story that had occurred way back that I had shared with these inmates, and discovered as I shared it that they were resonating with it because they had experienced similar kinds of things when they were young. Here's a bit of the story as I've written it up. I call it Teeth Marks. It was 1944. The war was about to end, but not for the 4-year-old boy from Battle Creek, Michigan. His war with trying to survive was underway and would continue for a few more decades. Dad was a nightly drunk, totally unable to care for the little kid. Mom was away 5 days a week at the factory trying to bring home enough money to feed the 4 of them, the dad, an alcoholic, the mom, his caretaker and financial provider, the 14-year-old brother, and the little kid. The foursome was trying to survive. Poverty was just a blink away, abuse and neglect hovering daily. The little boy was farmed out to an old couple who lived down the road. He called them Grandpa and Grandma, even though they were not related. But they were old and kind, like good grandparents are. The Brinkerts, German they were, and Mennonites. Good folks, chickens, and a cow all housed on a few acres, scratching out life like most of the folks in Battle Creek in those days. And they cared for the little guy. But for the boy, life was mostly about living on the edge of abuse, abandonment, and poverty. Every morning, Dad was vomiting from the night before in preparation for heading to the downtown bars. Mom was off to work. Brother dropped the kid off down the road at the Brinkerts, and then he went off to school 5 days a week. And the boy felt abandoned, and he was sad, and he was angry. The boy called his brother, brother, for many years. So he started to bite his arm, this little boy. Most every day he sunk his little teeth into his fragile right forearm, deep enough to leave black and blue marks. He was sad and angry and felt alone. No amount of Grandma Brinkert's love seemed to help. She tried to get him to stop. Roger, don't bite your arm. Didn't work. When she turned her back for a while, he would get the urge and bite his arm again. Finally, one day, Grandma came in and caught him with the telltale signs of biting. Teeth marks, black and blue, right there in plain sight on his forearm. She took his little arm in her hands, leaned down, and bit his arm. Didn't draw blood, didn't leave marks, but it hurt. She demonstrated to him that she loved him. He mattered enough for her to do something that she abhorred, for his sake. Somehow he got the message that she cared. And the kid never bit himself again in the arm. But he continued throughout life to find ways here and there to hurt himself when he felt abused or abandoned. It's called self-pity unresolved. and it has attachment issues attached. Woo them in, but keep them at bay so you won't get hurt. Charm and harm syndrome, it's called. Woo and woe. Anger starts early for a child not adequately nurtured. He will find ways to get attention and increase his feelings of being a nothing. And those early experiences and strategies to emotionally survive deepen into ruts, character flaws, and haunt the boy into manhood. Self-pity doesn't just disappear. It takes on new ways to bite the arm, new ways to get attention, cope with pain, cause more pain, dig deeper ruts in the psyche, the soul. Teeth mark.